quickly today, I'm going to finish a couple of abandoned projects. One of them was the coasters for Father's Day. I'm going to make them out of this white. This is the same white that has those little black flecks in it from the manufacturing, which will not be a problem at all because I have to glue the cork onto the back. I would like to make 4. I may end up with just 3, but we'll see. So first step, I need slightly less than 4x4 squares. So I dug around scrap bins. I found an extra 4x4 square. And I'm going to put the sand dollar and seashells on top of these that I made with the powder printer. When they come out of the kiln, I will glue the cork on the back and we'll have one quick Father's Day project done. I would have preferred to use a sand colored glass, which I do not have. The closest I would have when you look at the glass I use for the basket would be this one, but it really looks more like wood grain than it does sand. That almond really wouldn't work either. So white it is. Next step is to clean all of these, and then I'm going to take the powder printed wafers and fuse them on. And I need to make sure that I keep that part with the black. That has to be down because it will be visible. It does not fire off. Lovely, and I'm gonna glass tag, which is somewhere, and I'm just gonna put a little dot in the middle of each one. Because you don't need a lot. Hold it down. And then I'm gonna go into the bin of wafers. So when I start making wafers, I tend to make a bunch of them at one time. It's kind of fun. And it's these that I'm gonna use. And now that I'm looking at them against white, I do not like it. So what I think I might do is get some powder to make it look more like sand, because the white on white is not going to work. But these are the sea creatures that I'm going to use. I think they're beautiful. They turned out great. I also did them in a beigey color, which I don't like as much. I like the blue and white. But I do not like it on the white background. So let me go see what I've got for powder. So to make it look like maybe sand on the beach, the closest I've got is sienna and light bronze. And when you look at the bullseye look, here's the light bronze and there's the sienna. I think the light bronze will make it look more like sand. So I'm gonna go with the light bronze. Give a light coating across the white tile, and then drop the blue and white sea creatures on. I think that'll do it. I have a piece of thin fire on the Jen Ken shelf. I will give them a light coating of powder. This is a transparent, so it's not going to change the color. It's not going to change it to a dark color, but it'll just give it a little hint of something so that the white will stand out. I think if I put the blue and white pieces on top of the white, it would just blend in and you wouldn't see anything. So putting that little bit of transparent color in between, I think it'll differentiate a little bit better. Alrighty, so let me get started. I'm gonna rest it on a little cap, so it makes it easier to pick it up. Give it a light coat of powder and then gently drop the sea creature in the center. So I tried one with a little bit of woodland brown to make it stand out a little bit more. I don't really think I like that. I think I'm gonna go with just the plain because I do think it looks a little bit better. But who knows? I may change my mind. You want it to be as even a coat as you can get. This one I did that and it turned out beautifully. These, I didn't follow my own advice. The powder layer is uneven and there's a little bit of bubbling. This one a lot more. I could have prevented that by making the layer of powder super, super even. But I didn't follow my own advice. And all the extra powder I scoop up and I save it because sometimes when you're doing the wafers, you need to backfill a little bit and it doesn't matter what color you backfill with. So I always save the extra powder for that. So here we go, ready for the kiln. I decided to go with the woodland brown opaque over the light bronze transparent to make it look a little bit like sand. So we'll pop these in for a tack and then they'll be ready to glue on the cork backing. I ended up not making the wafers thick enough, so on the edge it disappears into the background. Oh well, finish them anyway. I also purchased 4-inch squares thinking that they would be the perfect backing, and because of the way glass shrinks in, they end up being a little bit too big, these stick-on cork squares. It doesn't matter. Just finish the project. So that's the goal today. Finish a few things that have been abandoned. Because even though they're not perfect, and I wouldn't give them as a gift, they're definitely usable unless they're sitting on a shelf in my studio, and then they don't get used. Look at that. Done and ready for use. And once you've got a coffee cup sitting on it, you're never going to notice that sand dollar is not perfect. Now I have to look around and see what else I have yet to finish.